The wait for Euphoria Season 3 has been an eternity. After Season 2 wrapped in early 2022, fans have been starved for updates, surviving on casting rumors and production delays. We know the show is finally set to return in 2026 after a long hiatus, thanks to industry strikes, the cast's meteoric rise to stardom, and creator Sam Levinson's extensive rewrites. We also know there's a significant time jump that will take the characters out of high school for good. But after all this time, with expectations this high, what if it goes horribly wrong? What if the show returns as something totally unrecognizable and splits the internet right down the middle? We came across a fictional script that imagined just that. A wild, disastrous premiere that fans and critics either hailed as a masterpiece or trashed as an unhinged train wreck. That script was pure speculation, but it painted such a vivid picture of a divided fandom that we had to explore it. So today, we're diving into that thought experiment, a breakdown of a fictional Euphoria Season 3 that became one of the most divisive TV events of the year. In this hypothetical version of Season 3, the first thing to go is the show's entire vibe. Imagine if, instead of the moody film noir Levinson once teased, he pivoted to a full-blown cartel western. Gone is the neon-drenched, dreamlike haze of the first two seasons.
Each season we've made, we've always tried to find a way to evolve. I think in this season, I was very inspired by the frame of the Western, the sort of saturation, the blues, the yellows, and the wider shots. And so we had decided to take a step back, have a bit more distance from our characters. We wanted to open up that aspect ratio and see the wider world and how they either fit or don't fit into it.
Gorgeous. You're happy to be here.
In our fictional premiere, it's replaced by the sun-bleached, desolate landscape of the Chihuahuan Desert, and a plot that throws Rue headfirst into drug smuggling. You can almost hear the confused tweets. How did Euphoria go from skins to narcos? In this imagined storyline, Rue is now working as a drug mule for Lori to pay off her massive debt, forcing her to transport fentanyl across the border. The show would shift from a character study into a crime thriller. Even Labyrinth's iconic, moody score, the very soul of the first two seasons, is gone. It's a jarring reinvention that would leave a huge portion of the audience feeling cold and disconnected, wondering if they were even watching the same show anymore. For many, a change this drastic would feel less like an evolution and more like a betrayal. If the tonal shift would be jarring, the character developments in this what-if scenario are simply baffling. A 5-year time jump is supposed to show us our favorite characters navigating adulthood, but the paths imagined here are a major point of contention. One of the fictional viral tweets in the script captured the sentiment perfectly. So, nobody went to college and bettered themselves? Let's start with Rue. While Zendaya's performance would undoubtedly be incredible, the decision to make her a cartel drug mule feels like a narrative dead end. After watching her struggle with addiction for 2 seasons, this new plot, full of graphic and disturbing scenes, would feel less like an exploration of recovery and more like the show just finding new ways to torture her. Then there's the Nate and Cassie of it all. In this timeline, they're engaged and living in a lavish home. To fund their extravagant lifestyle, Cassie has turned to creating adult content online. But what's most confusing is the complete personality transplant of Nate Jacobs. The once terrifying antagonist is now subdued. In a fictional scene where Cassie publicly embarrasses him, he barely reacts. It's a change so drastic, you'd have viewers wondering if Jacob Elordi's Elvis spirit accidentally possessed the character. While the show is all about exploring change, these arcs feel less like natural progressions and more like ludicrous plot points designed for maximum shock.
I finished filming just recently, and it's a completely different thing.
Is your character nicer?
I actually think so.
Oh, good.
I really do think so. Whether it works or not, I don't know. No, there's a chance that whatever we've done is just not good. Well, what I've done is not good. I'm not sure.
I doubt that.
I'm not sure.
I doubt
it was
that.
such a sort of truncated experience, but it's cool.
This brings us to the biggest point of controversy in our fictional season, the one that would ignite genuine outrage, the depiction of Cassie's new career. While the idea of Cassie turning to platforms like OnlyFans might be in character, the imagined execution is widely condemned as exploitative. The backlash in this hypothetical world centers on scenes where Cassie performs in sexually suggestive ways while dressed in childlike costumes, complete with pigtails and a pacifier. Leaked clips of her engaging in age play would go viral, and the reaction would be overwhelmingly negative.
Oh, it's a whole subculture. Babies? Adult babies. Some people do, it's huge. I keep getting all these requests. Teething rings, bassinets. Some people even want to see me wear a diaper. If I don't, someone else will. It's just supply and demand.
What the
Comments would flood social media. This alone just made me not want to watch it anymore. This should not be normalized. This kind of plot would spark a serious, and frankly necessary, debate. Is the show exposing the dark realities of online exploitation, or is it just aestheticizing it for shock value? The controversy around Sam Levinson's other show, The Idol, proves this is a real concern for viewers. The line can become so blurred that it just leaves a bad taste. The show's signature shock value, once seen as boundary-pushing, could easily be viewed by a huge part of the audience as simply irresponsible. In our fictional timeline, the fan division is mirrored perfectly by professional critics. The imaginary season holds a rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes, and the reviews are just as polarized as the audience. You can just picture the headlines. Publications like the New York Post might brand it an unhinged disaster, while Mashable could write that a time jump and drastic reinvention can't save Euphoria from itself. On the other side, you'd have defenders. The Independent might praise it as a generation-defining show that paints a clear-eyed, unflattering portrait of modern America. The critical reception would be just as messy and conflicted as the fan reaction, with no clear agreement on whether this new version of Euphoria is a bold masterpiece or a catastrophic failure. So that's our look into a speculative worst-case scenario for Euphoria Season 3, a show at war with itself and its own legacy. This fictional version returned as something unrecognizable, a desert crime thriller that abandoned its iconic aesthetic and pushed its characters into bizarre, disturbing new lives. Thankfully, none of this has actually happened, but it does raise the question of what awaits us when the real Season 3 premieres. The production has faced enormous challenges, including creative rewrites, scheduling nightmares with its now A-list cast, and the need to pay respect to the tragic loss of Angus Cloud.
Do we really have to wait till 2024 for Season 3?
I don't know.
You know.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't tell me.
Give us one word for what's going to happen in Season 3.
The pressure to deliver is immense. Has the show evolved, or will it lose its way? This fictional script paints a grim picture, but it's just one possibility. Now I want to hear from you. What's your take? What do you really want to see in Season 3? And what's your biggest fear for the show's return? Let me know in the comments.
Gracias, mi amigo.